This historic landmark is called the St. Paul's Roman Catholic Church. And the St. Paul's Roman Catholic Church was first built by French and Irish immigrants between 1811 and 1815 and was the first Catholic congregation established in Portsmouth. Increasing membership necessitated the building of a new structure in 1831 and 1851. Fire destroyed the third building in 1859. That same year, the congregation began constructing a fourth structure, completed in 1868. That structure burned in 1897. The current Gothic Revival church here, noted for its stained glass windows, was designed by John Keevan Peebles and dedicated in 1905 and listed on the Virginia Landmarks Register of National Register of Historic Places in 2002. And right underneath this marker right here, this is where a burial ground for early parishioners and clergy of St. Paul's Catholic Church was located during the 19th century. So these are all the individuals right here who were buried at this site. Patrick Robertson, who bequeathed the funds to purchase this property in 1810 and construct the first St. Paul's, and Rosalie and Bartholomew Asinelli, founding members of this congregation, Antonio Sylvester Basoli, Reverend Francis Devlin, pastor from 1844 to 1855, and yellow fever epidemic of 1855 is when Reverend Devlin passed away while ministering to the citizens of Portsmouth. And finally, Reverend Joseph Plunkett, pastor from 1855 to 1870 during the construction of the fourth St. Paul. So these are all the individuals buried here. Let's go. Good afternoon, good people. This is P9 with another video, and I am here in Portsmouth, Virginia. Portsmouth is an independent city located in Southeast Virginia across the Elizabeth River from Norfolk. And with a population of 97,915, it is the 9th most populated city in Virginia and is part of the Hampton Roads metro area. Now, Norfolk has long been associated, or Portsmouth has long been associated with the U.S. Armed Forces, Navy, and Naval Shipyard, and is a historic and active Navy facility that's located here in Portsmouth. But right now I'm over here downtown Portsmouth on Court Street. So we about to walk around and check it out. Now, Portsmouth was established in the early 1600s, but it wasn't founded until 1752, and it was named after Portsmouth in England, and it was originally inhabited by the Powhatan Native American tribe right along the Elizabeth River. So it's a lot of historical sites here in Portsmouth. This is my first time actually coming to the city, at least the downtown area. So this is going to be a really interesting experience. Right across the street from me is this building called the Pythian Castle. And it has what looks like a Mexican restaurant on the ground level. And right here in this building is the Portsmouth main library. Those six Greek columns. And the Portsmouth Public Library was established in 1914, and it was the student club that helped put the library together. And it was housed in the annex behind the 1846 courthouse. And most of the original collection was donated from Seaboard Air Railroad and the YMCA. The first librarian was Miss Esther Murdaugh Wilson. An African-American community leader or library was established in 1945 with Miss Bertha Edwards as director. And here's images or rendering and drawings. And here's an actual image right here of the post office in 1917. And 1940, this is a rendering of the new addition. So two libraries merged in 1963 and moved into the renovated 1909 post office at 601 Court Street. So yes, this is the present day public library. And you also have the First Presbyterian Church building right here. This building established in 1822. Reverend Dr. Stephen Fraser is the minister of this church. And right across the street from me is the Trinity Episcopal Church. I'm at the corner of Court Street and High Street. The Mustard Seed Place. They have a bistro called Old Town Public House American Bistro right here on Court Street. Gino's Pizzeria. I'm in the Old Town Historic District of Portsmouth now. And this building right here is the Court Street Baptist Church. And it has a Romanesque revival architectural style. Bricks look kind of like pinkish, like a reddish pinkish. But the Cahokia Association, composed of Baptist churches in southeastern Virginia and eastern North Carolina, established Court Street Baptist Church on September 7th, 1789. And this is the oldest Baptist church in Portsmouth and Norfolk, and became the mother church of several other congregations. Members acquired land here in 1799 and built the first sanctuary. African American members, about a third of the congregation in 1860, withdrew in 1865 and formed two new congregations. Reuben H. Hunt, one of the South's most prominent architects early in the 20th century, designed the church's present Romanesque Revival Sanctuary, which was completed in 1903. So shout out to Reuben Hunt for the architectural style of this Baptist church right here on Court Street. And here's another marker with Court Street Baptist Church, but this has actual illustrations. This is how the Court Street Baptist Church looked back in the day. This is an original drawing of the Court Street Baptist Church. It was just a small building right at the corner of Court and Queen Street. It has the ground plan and everything. And this is the Zion Colored Baptist Church. This is courtesy of an 1886 sketchbook of Portsmouth. And this image is courtesy of the Portsmouth Public Library. This one as well. Yeah, so pretty cool that they have maintained this building for over 100 years, closer to 125 years at this point. And look at these homes over here in Old Town's historic district. Very nice homes that are typical architectural styles in Virginia, especially in colonial Southeast Virginia. It's a really nice looking neighborhood, Old Town Historic District, with these string lights sitting right over here. It looks like some restaurant tables, but it's an old home, but it may possibly be a restaurant now because of the tables you see right here. There's a 2-story home with a basement. Pretty nice. And this building right here that is now occupied by the Portsmouth Art and Cultural Center was once the 1846 courthouse, and the Norfolk County Courthouse as it was back then is seen in a postcard from 1912, shortly after the annex was built. And the 1846 courthouse at the corner of Court and High Street was designed in classic revival style by architect William R. Singleton and built by Willoughby G. Butler. It housed the Norfolk County Court until the court's relocation to Chesapeake in 1963. In 1970, the courthouse was registered as a National Historic Landmark and placed on the Virginia and National Registers of Historic Places. A grand opening on July 1st, 1984, heralded its new use as the Community Arts Center and Children's Museum of Virginia. John Paul Hanbury of Portsmouth was the architect for renovation of the building. And of course, now it serves as the Portsmouth Art and Cultural Center, offering art programs, workshops, and rotating visual arts and humanities exhibits. And as you can see right here, this is the drawing of the original 1846 courthouse. So one of the many museums of the Hampton Roads area right here in Portsmouth. And here's a marker right here that pretty much gives the same information as I just read, the Norfolk County Courthouse. Walking down High Street now. And here goes the other side of that museum. They also have some Black history exhibits in the building. Okay, this is another part of the building as well. At first glance, I thought this was the Quaker Oats dude, but it's actually a guy by the name of Eric Ricky Pierce, and it says he welcomes you to the city of Colonel Crawford. Artists Leon Johnson and Linwood Petaway installed this mural in 2019. So shout out to Leon Johnson and Linwood Petaway. And this is also another nice mural. This one was by Bria Sargent and Ink Dragons in 2023. Nice mural. Looks like a bunch of kids. I don't know. The way I interpret this particular mural, it looks like you have a bunch of kids at the dinner table, especially the younger generation kids that are glued to mobile devices. And, you know, their heads are shaped like a bunch of tablets and smartphones, computers. And the mother sitting at the head of the table seems like she's in isolation, despite the fact that her kids are surrounding her because, you know, they're glued to the phones and not paying no attention. It's basically no social interaction going on amongst the children with their mother. So this is basically the new age we live in. So this pretty much represents that. I don't even think too many families, so-called families, even gather at the dinner table anymore these days. And that's exacerbated by these food delivery companies, these Uber Eats and DoorDash. And check this out. This is also a nice little mural. And this was by, I think it's Had To at Get Diggy With It and at Urban Digs Art, SPAA and PMFAC in 2021. It's a really nice mural. Looks like some dragonflies or something. And this is like a dragonfly right here. It's really dope though. And this is a beer garden restaurant. German, kind of like a German spot. Has a German design, letters and stuff like that. I'm at the corner of High Street and Dinwiddie Street. It's a 3D prints t-shirt shop over here. And we have this Tower 507 premier downtown apartment building. But on the ground level is a high street pizza and Porthouse restaurant. Barron's Pub right across the street.
No, that's you. That's you. I'm a twin.
And we gotta stand up and shit.
Alright.
We can't get no drink, can't bring no drinks out here. No. That's where I get it from.
Old Town Food Mart. Couple of vacant spots over here for lease. Take a little detour down here. Haha, yolks on us. Southern Bistro. And of course, there's going to be a lot of history associated with Virginia as it pertains to the American Revolutionary War. And this is no exception right here. You have at this particular spot, this is where a line of British redoubts was erected in March of 1781 by order of Brigadier General Benedict Arnold, who under Major William Phillips commanded British troops occupying Portsmouth. The line of fortifications extended in an arc along Washington Street from the northern waterfront to Gosport Creek and defended Portsmouth from American attack from the west. So, of course, they had to set up their defenses and fortifications and things of that nature. And across the street over there from this line is a modernized apartment building. I'm on the other end of High Street. This is the Old Town Drug Center, aka the pharmacy. And it sits across from this church right here, which is called the St. Paul's Roman Catholic Church, which is another historic monument here in Portsmouth. But a lot of Mexican restaurants, cafes, bistros, pubs, you name it, taverns, all type of stuff down this street. And this is High Street, by the way. Court Street is the main drag, but High Street looks like it's where most of the establishments are here in Portsmouth. Nails, 2C and more, okay. They have a burrito bar across the street called the 619 Cantina. Look at the shape of those windows up there. Really nice. Have a Ghost Sport Tavern right here. An abandoned building right over here. And here's a mural on the side of this building. Great America 4, the Battle of Craney Island, which is right here nearby Portsmouth. It's a really nice mural that illustrates the history right here in Portsmouth. It's by Sam Welty. And it sits on the side of this building right here that's occupied by a co-working shop, a Cure coffee bar, which is closed, by the way, and a post-secondary brewing company right here. But yeah, these are the mini shops of High Street. So come check it out if you're ever in Portsmouth and want to grab a cup of coffee, grab a beer, or whatever it may be. A lot of shopping options as well. On High Street, and this is the downtown eatery and deli. And right next to the downtown deli is this historical landmark here called the Commodore Theater. And check this out. The Commodore Theater is on the National Register of Historic Places. So I wonder, it looks like, it looks like they show first run movies because they have Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning that's coming out May 23rd of this year, 2025. So yeah, this does show first run movies, apparently. But it is a historical theater. And it was opened on November 14th, 1945, and was designed by noted Baltimore architect John J. Zink and built and operated by William S. Bunky Wilder, a Portsmouth native, as his flagship theater. It is named for Commodore James Barron, the veteran of the War of 1812, who was buried in the courtyard next to the theater. The Art Deco theater has a national theme and 2 large murals depicting local and national history. The Commodore showed motion pictures and hosted community stage presentations until 1975, when it closed for 12 years. In 1987, Fred Schoenfeld purchased the theater and spent 2.5 years restoring it. He reopened the Commodore on December 21st, 1989 as a first-run movie theater with full-service dining, the first such cinema eatery in the United States. Meeting stringent expedition criteria for sound, image, and audience experience, the Commodore Theater earned THX certification for excellence. So shout out to Fred Schoenfeld for purchasing this theater and restoring it, and basically, having it to where it shows first run movies. This is the All Saints Chapel right here, and the parish house on the side of the Trinity Episcopal Church. And inside of there is looks like a burial ground. It was built in 1762 as a parish church of Portsmouth. So yeah, that is a cemetery over there. James Barron, one of the Commodores from the colonial times, was buried there.
Oh my gosh, I sound like my grandma. Oh.
I'm over here on Crawford Street, downtown Portsmouth. About a block or so away from the waterfront. I know that's what you guys are waiting to see. I know I'm waiting to see the same thing. And all this history is giving me a craving for something good to eat. May help me build up an appetite. So after a while, I'm gonna have to put this down and go grab some grub. But there's still work to be done. I'm at the corner of Crawford Street and High Street. And I'm gonna go over here and check out the waterfront and then come back down High Street, Crawford Street. And this is the marker for the founder of Portsmouth in 1762, William Crawford. He came here in 1762 and here stood the residence of William Crawford, who in 1752 founded the town of Portsmouth on 65 acres of his extensive plantation lands. The house site extended south on Crawford Street, 113 feet, and east on High Street to the Elizabeth River. Crawford was presiding justice of the Norfolk court, lieutenant colonel of the county militia, and wealthy merchant and planter. Yeah, so that's who founded the town of Portsmouth, apparently. William Crawford. Here's another historical figure associated with Portsmouth. You have John Luke Porter, who was the first president of the Portsmouth Common Council, and he was born just 2 blocks south of here. And he was an accomplished naval constructor, commissioned first by the U.S. and later by the Confederacy. Porter supervised the Norfolk Navy Yard and the conversion of the frigate Merrimack to the ironclad CSX Virginia. On March 8, 1862, the Virginia rammed and sank USS Cumberland and destroyed USS Congress at Newport News. Okay, so John Luke Porter, shout out to him. We make our way over to the Elizabeth River. Really relaxing sight right here on the waterfront. And you have the boats right that sit over here. So it looks like there's some shipbuilding going on over here as well. There's a restaurant over there as well called Time on the River. And that circular building right over there. So apparently, I guess you can catch a ferry. I'm gonna go over there to the tickets, not to in a few minutes, but yeah, you can catch a ferry. I'll bring my girlfriend out here. We catch a ferry next time I'm out in the Hampton Roads area. It's called the American Legend. And right over here is the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard Museum. So they have a Naval Shipyard Museum over here as well. Has the anchor in front of it along with the cannons. And this used to be a Norfolk County Ferries maintenance building right here. And this was the Norfolk Portsmouth Ferry Terminal back in 1906. The ferry maintenance building in 1955. The city of Portsmouth was one of the ferries that provided daily service between Norfolk and Portsmouth in 1950. And this building itself was constructed in 1919 and used as a maintenance building for the Norfolk County ferries. And from 1636 to 1955, a 300-year time frame, the ferries provided service for passengers and their various modes of transportation across the Elizabeth River between Norfolk and Portsmouth. The ferries were discontinued in 1955, but were reestablished in 1983 for passenger transportation only. The building has been home to the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard Museum since 1963, when the original museum was moved from inside the Norfolk Naval Shipyard. So it basically preserves and promotes the history of the city of Portsmouth, Norfolk Naval Shipyard, and the armed forces of Hampton Roads. So these photos are courtesy of the Naval Shipyard Museum. Really nice history there. But back to the waterfront. Look at these various ships. And there's also some naval ships across the water in the distance. So you can come over here and catch a ferry if you wish to do so. So it's really, once you come down High Street, you'll meet Water Street, and this is where you'll come across the waterfront. Now, right across the water, they have what's called Bay Systems, and that's BAE Systems. No kidding. I'm not kidding, not joking. It's called Bay Systems. I have to do my research on that. I sound like Lil Reese now. Y'all see them interviews with Lil Reese? He say, I got to do my research. Yeah, but I got to research that Bay Systems, see what they all about, you know. Okay, so this is where you can purchase the tickets for the ferries. One-way ferry is $2, $4 for the round trip. It's actually not bad. It's not bad.
I understand what we want, but we can get that out of the house while we're having dinner. We can have milk.
You can catch you a ferry round trip for $4. So you can catch it from here to Norfolk. Yeah, we got to come back and do that for sure. And I'll make sure I vlog that as well. But yep, this is the waterfront right here in Portsmouth, Virginia. Y'all come check it out. This is a sculpture of Colonel William Crawford, founder of Portsmouth, Virginia, February 27th, 1752. And that's him holding what looks like a document. But he's today known as Colonel William Crawford. So that's his, I guess the spelling changed, or maybe that's his American last name. And some more shops, and it's a couple museums down this way on High Street. Across the street in that building right there is the Children's Museum of Virginia. So they do have a children's museum right here in Portsmouth, just a couple of blocks, if that, from the waterfront. And this is actually the Portsmouth Welcome Center building right here. So you can get souvenirs and gifts, clothing, homeware, all made in Portsmouth right here at this building right over on High Street, the corner of High and Middle Street. Let me go over here. Like some interesting pieces over on this side. And again, this is the Children's Museum of Virginia. And right outside of it, there's this frog sculpture. It's called I've Been Kissed, right here in, and it's by Pokey Park, donated by the supporters of Portsmouth Public Art in 2011. And it's stone by Superior Marble and Stone. So this is a really nice sculpture. Again, it's being called I've Been Kissed. So I guess the frog has been kissed. And the artist, again, is Pokey Park. It's a really nice sculpture right there. And it sits right outside this Bangkok Garden restaurant. And this is called, and I'm not sure what this name of this park is, but it's like sits right outside of the Virginia Children's Museum. And there's another sculpture over here that caught my eye. Looks like two children reading with each other. It's a boy and a girl reading a book. And this bench was in memory of Irma Frances Hall Ayers, who passed away in 2011 at the age of 99. She almost lived to be a whole century. It's amazing. But they also have an art store over here, as well as a music shop. So they have an art shop and a music shop right over here by the museum. So I guess this would be considered kind of like the arts district of Portsmouth. And check this out. This is a nice mural. Looks like some angel wings. And I can't pronounce, I don't know, I'm not sure if that's Sue Linderman. But Sue Linderman did this art piece, SPPA 2020. And that's her signature right there. So I believe that says Sue Landerson or Landerman. But it's a really nice sculpture, or a really nice mural rather, of the angel wings. And it's detailed, and it's a feather right here, definitely very detailed. They also give, at this music shop over here, they also give music lessons. So that's pretty cool. And again, you have all these benches and tables and chairs, or benches rather. And you have this sculpted, like Dalmatian looking thing right here. It says "Our Hero." This is pretty nice as well. There goes a music shop right there. And here comes the sculptures. Here comes a purple flower. And this is by Victoria Weiss right here. And her Instagram tag is, or Instagram handle is at Butterpop Art. Butterpop Art. And this was also in 2020 when it was made. And these are some nice colors right here for some angel wings. Same artist. You know. Yeah, really, really nice little area over here. So come check it out. It's on High Street, downtown Portsmouth. It's a nice, crisp walk along the Elizabeth River Trail right here. And look at the houses. Look at the homes over there. Really relaxing, very quaint, very tranquil, very spiritual. You can see the whole city from over here. Look at all those ships lined up over there. It's a nice place to relax, you know. Bring out a blanket, lay it out, and just chillax, you know. You got these old historical homes, worth a lot of money, due in large part to its location and proximity to the waterfront. Very, very nice. Up. I see a thumbnail. I see a thumbnail right here. I spy a thumbnail. Yep. So basically that's this is Crawford Bay. So I'm guessing this definitely has to be the skyline of Norfolk. for sure. 'Cause I don't think Portsmouth Skyline isn't this big. Their Skyline is not this big, so this definitely is Norfolk. I could tell. I see the Dominion Enterprises building, the Hilton Hotel, Marriott, all of that, Waterside. Yeah, that's Norfolk all the way. But I'm in Portsmouth though. But we're right across the water from Norfolk, so you get the views. You know what? I shouldn't even use this as a thumbnail because it's Norfolk. If anything, I would use it for Norfolk's thumbnail, not Portsmouth's thumbnail, because this is Norfolk's Skyline. But I'm in Portsmouth now. Look at all these high rises. These homes, yeah, they definitely pay a pretty penny to live out here. No question about it. It was some apartments on Court Street, right across from where I parked at. Just for a 1-bedroom, they starting off at like $1,500. So I could imagine how much this stuff is over here. It's crazy. But it's nice though to be able to wake up to this every morning, be able to go to sleep to this every night, and just, you know, be able to see this on a daily basis. Crawford Street, but this is the residential area known as the Old Town Historic District over there. And it sits right across the street from the north end or the north landing of the waterfront here in Portsmouth on the Elizabeth River. And there's also another ferry terminal down this way, which is what we'll see just momentarily. They have a high-rise building right here, which I'm assuming may possibly be either a hotel or an apartment building. One of the two. But this is the Elizabeth River Ferry over here. And as I pointed out earlier, at the other end of the waterfront, or the other end of the river, further south, it is $4 for a round trip. I mean, that's a good, that's actually a really good price. I could only imagine how much a ferry costs. Like if you catch a ferry, say across Staten Island, or if you catch a ferry like from, I guess from Savannah to say the other side of the, or no, matter of fact, if you catch a ferry from like San Francisco to Alameda or something like that, California, I'm pretty sure those round trips definitely cost way more than $4. But right here in Portsmouth, from Portsmouth to Norfolk, a ferry just $4 for a round trip. You can't beat that with a baseball bat, man, for real. And this is the north landing. And again, across from me is the Elizabeth River Ferry. The 7th, the Elizabeth River Ferry 7, bound for Norfolk, Virginia. And also you have the Renaissance Hotel. So you can imagine the cost of per night there. And it's a good place. You can ride, to ride bicycles, roller skate, all that good stuff. You know, take a jog. But this is actually where I wanted to conclude this Portsmouth vlog, right here on the North Landing. It's been a really nice evening to take a stroll and vlog and all that good stuff. So with that in mind, good people, thanks for tuning in to this Portsmouth, Virginia vlog. And also, if you stuck around this long, make sure you hit that like button. And if you're new to this channel, also make sure you hit the subscribe button along with the notification bell. That way you get notified each and every time I drop a new vlog. And also, if you're feeling generous and would like to make a donation to either the PayPal or the Buy Me a Coffee, there will be links to both in the description box of this video, as well as in the bio section. And any donation, whether big or small, would greatly be appreciated, guys. It would greatly be appreciated. And the donations will go right back into the channel in regards to content creation. So with that in mind, good people, I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this evening right over here by the riverfront and go grab some grub. And I hope you guys have a great evening as well. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, peace.